Okay. Surprised.
Okay.
Okay.
Surprised.
Now, well, this is what happens when I change my sound settings.
This is what happens when I change my sound settings.
Yeah. Because they had speakers on, and now I have some phantom. Oh, that's me. Okay. Anyway, congratulations, Ham Radio Crash Course, for getting to 100,000 subscribers. That's amazing. This is I was saying while I was muted. The first time I think a ham radio YouTuber has achieved this milestone, which is like awesome. So big congratulations to Josh Nass, KS6NAZ, for making the silver play button. That's crazy. But he's been doing it for such a long time and has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on here. Sneeze? Nope, not gonna sneeze. Oh God, I hear. Hopefully it's not too loud. Okay, so congratulations. Go check him out. I mean, you probably already have seen many of his videos, if not at least one, because he in the past has done a lot of like getting people licensed and whatnot, and has generally done a really, really, really good job of bringing you're bringing hams to YouTube, if you want to put it that way. Got to set up the handy cam. Second thing, today is National Beer Day. So in celebration of that, I have a cooler, and I'm going to unveil my Dogfish Head 120-minute IPA that apparently ages well. What better day to do that than National Beer Day, which was the yearly annual marking the day that the Cullen-Harrison Act was enacted, which is the day that the United States Congress in 1933 legalized the sale of beer with an alcohol content of 3.2% by weight, and ending prohibition effectively, I think. So this is I had a friend, my friend Jake got me this beer because it was being sold. It's like $30-something for a 6-pack. So it is. It better be good. And I literally found this cup, this tall grass. Where's my camera? Brewing company from Manhattan, Kansas, where my dad went to college. I found this cup in the dumpster. And then I cleaned it up real good. Ran it through the dishwasher. Pour this bad boy. And let's take a sip. Woohoo! Nice. That is a beer. It's a Imperial 8 IPA, so that's why it suddenly shocked me with a lot of booziness. It doesn't have an alcohol rating on here, on the actual label. But it's from Dogfish Head. What you have here is the holy grail for hop heads. This beer is continually hopped for over a 120-minute boil and dry hop for over a month. Enjoy now or age for a decade or so. So I have 2 of these in the cellar, quote unquote, that I will open up in a decade or so. Oh. Well, you're right. Alcohol and learning is not compatible. I wanted to experiment with the degradation of my capability, my ability to learn under the influence of beer, because it's beer day. And then third thing, I'm already losing track of everything. I don't have my green screen on, so I'm less cool today. I am in the CW Academy, and we officially did our first class yesterday. I have like a weird little rash on the top of my wrist, so don't mind that. It like kind of burns. I put some like stuff on it, but I don't know. Things are weird. I'm washing my hands like 1,000 times, so maybe that's the cause. Maybe it's the Apple Watch. I don't know. So yeah, that's a thing. I'll give you a picture of the, the beer. That's the important thing here. There you go. So CW Academy is a place where you learn with CW with a group of people. We have a class of 5, and it's being run. My class is being run by Whiskey 8 Oscar Virus, Whiskey 8 Original Virus. He kept calling himself. Dave is his name. Very, very nice guy, and I haven't really gotten to know him that well, but he seems to know a lot of stuff about Morse code. So with that said, and with me trying to avoid picking around with my settings on OBS, I'm in the basic class, and so we're doing kind of simple things. Just learning instant character recognition, not learning letters. We already know letters. We already know like some basic CW vernacular. So let me get the Cindy boy set up. Just like that. Works perfect every time. I have a mixer on my desk, and I'm dumb for not having dumb. I'm bad. I'm a bad boy for not having some sort of keyer that actually plugs into it. I was actually one of the person who's running the course has that actually set up. So I'm like, I need to get in on that. Nope. TARR. I don't know what that spells. That's it. LL. I was trying to spell tall grass like on the thing. Yes. Anyway, so you can actually go here to cwops.org/cw-academy and see what I am doing. Our classes are basically reiterations, rehashings of the homework, which is, you can follow along, honestly. Where's resources? I got to get with it. So beginner is the first one. That's where you actually learn letters, and basic is where you learn instant character recognition. So it's really hard to say that because for some reason or another. Oh, man, that's good. Oh. It just makes me warm, and it's really hot today. Today's like 80. So there's some really good PDFs, really good like kind of books or essays that are here, and then the actual homework assignments. Where am I going? Are here. So like scroll down, read through all this. Basically, all that says do not like rely on your old laurels of like mnemonics and counting dits and das. Like you want to be at a 25 words per minute minimum. You want to have known all the letters already. You might have troublesome characters, so at some point our next session we're going to find the troublesome characters and send a list so that he can test us on it and kind of get us growing that instant character recognition, which is going to be a common thing I'm going to say a lot. And I think this is a good spot for me, even though like we're learning like the alphabet, we're doing the alphabet, but the catch is we already know the alphabet and our eyes are closed, and so the idea for like lesson 1, day 1 here is to send the entire 36, 26 plus 10, 36 characters at 25 words per minute with your eyes closed, like this. I know I did 0 twice, but that was perfect. Holy cow. And you also missed me actually sending it, so I'm going to move this down here so you can see where the business is going. Wow, that was cool. So that's like what we do. We kind of ran through everyone, all 6 people. 1 or 2 of us had trouble. I forgot the alphabet, so like I think the letter F got missed. And but that kind of showed the proctor, the instructor, like where are we all at with like our understanding and how, how are we going to proceed. So we all kind of pass it. And then I forgot to mention, set a Farnworth speed that works for you. So it doesn't have to be all like at full rate, at full speed. It can be at whatever Farnsworth speed, and that just means with extended spacing between the characters. Right, like we've been doing this whole time. And then we do that for 3 days. The sending, the second day, the sending thing is sending your call sign 25 times, sending your first name, and then sending. I thought it had your city in here, but one of the things we did is we sent the call sign, name, and city. Everyone went through it. So. How do I spell my city? St. Louis. Dang it. That'll work. St. Louis. And I think I did okay with that. And so he also goes through the reception part of it too. He will send a set of characters. We'll go one by one, and he'll send like and you'll say D, and then the next person goes, and then they say F, and the next person we'll say 9. A couple people got tripped up by, which is the BK or BT signal, which the way he explained it, I really want to know the history behind the BT signal, and basically it's a pause or in thinking, almost like a breath or a like looking up and thinking like, what am I going to say next? The way he had people kind of remember it's BT instead of da did it like what is it, da did it. So BT could also be D DA. I don't know. I wrote down a bunch of things like that, and is to think of it as the first and the last letter of brain fart. B, yeah, B, T. Brain fart. Because old man, operating CW, forgets what he's talking about. Dang it. What was I talking about again? That's basically what that is. In more of a common sense, it's a kind of a clause separator. Like if I'm sending my RST, I'll send my RST, and then I'll send a BT, and then send my QTH, and then send BT, and then I'll send my name and other things. It's kind of like separates little parts of speech, if you will, or parts of like the QSO. Oh man, this has to be like a 12 or 13% brew. I need to look it up really quick. Oh yeah, Yep, I was born in 1928. 20%. Oh my goodness. 15 to 20. So I'm gonna say this is on the upper end. So we do Mondays and Fridays, so that's twice a week. We work 1 hour. Like the idea is to work 1 hour a day, which is far too much for me, but some days I can work more than others. Like I don't have an hour. Like, I mean, wait, I run a stream that's an hour almost every day. I don't have an hour. Like, I'm just screwing with you. Basically, following these instructions an hour a day will get you quite a bit of success. And a lot of people have been through it. Everyone has said it's been a game changer. And so it goes on for session 14s with 3 days a session, 15s. What's the table of contents? Table of contents. So 16 sessions times 3 is 16 times 3 is 48 days. time, and it's gonna go on for a while. And we do 3 sessions a week, so it's really or 1 session per week, so it's about 16 weeks. Yeah, Sandra, you're right. It's extremely key. Morse code is an auditory language. It's not a visual language. It's not a language that you learn by memory. It's a language you learn by, the language you learn by active memory. It's a language you learn by muscle memory, or really like the audio memory, and it's just kind of build into your brain. And a lot of the things some of the characters I've come across, like I couldn't help myself, like 4 or those are music to me, because V, nope, da 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 is Beethoven's March, and then 4 is Darude's Sandstorm. Hey Josh, congratulations! And then you can make Darude's Sandstorm out of entirely Morse code. You know, and I've done that before. I won't do it again. I'm not that crazy yet. Yeah, Josh, I had your shout out. You're actually still on the tab up here for getting 100K. That's mind-blowing. I still have 100,000 to go. I still have exactly 100,000 to go, because I think I have like 1,600 subscribers, but I think most of them like left the YouTube space, because I've had 1,000 subscribers for quite a long time, but then I kind of got out of it. You know, I went to college and stuff, so I have about 1,700 subscribers. So, and 7 people watching, tuning just in time for Sandstorm. That's literally all I can do is Sandstorm. So anyway, enough about sending, enough about CW Academy. I'm excited to like get through this, because this really teaches the important points of learning Morse code, which is instant character recognition, head copy, ignoring characters that you forgot. My biggest struggle is not just the like a couple letters that I hate. It's also a buffer. Like it's like I can only keep one thing going on in my head at a time. I can only hear that one letter, and I can convert that one letter. Excuse me. It's a very, very alcoholic beer, or very, very boozy beer. It's like attacking me. So putting that into like words is really hard. Like if I want to learn the word, I don't know, 4, I think of it as FOUR, but really I should be thinking it as like a whole basically a continuous like string of digits with like pauses in between a string of dits and das between some pauses. And I use test as an example because CQ test is very commonly used as a, CQ contest. And I know test just by the sound of it. Just like a lot of people know CQ. Yep. Just by heart. Now you'll find when you're learning Morse code for the first time that Q and C by themselves will actually be pretty difficult. C and Q will be by themselves probably some of the most challenging letters because they're the longest, they're actually the same amount of like dots and dashes, right? But together they make a specific sound. You know what I'm saying? Like they make a specific word, like test. A lot of people can send that as, and I know it's test because it's contextually relating to a contest. There's other words that are like that I'm trying to learn a lot better, like RST and antenna, ANT, QTH, things that are very commonly sent in a standard QSO. Like also like UR for your, like your, and then, everyone who's contested has heard this. It's 599. That's a common RST, a readability, signal strength, and tone kind of measurement. 5 being the best readability, and 9 being the best signal strength and tone thing. And they shorten in. In is the shortening for the number 9. So they don't have to send that long. But a lot of casual operators will instead of cutting the number into a letter, listen to the whole thing. So like, I don't know what I just sent. I'm starting to feel the effects of this beer, and it's National Beer Day, by the way, if you haven't been listening. Man, this is crazy. You guys missing out. If you like beer, I know many people don't like beer, but oh my gosh. Okay, so that's the thing. I'm really excited about. Yeah, you do, Josh. Go get one. I'm really excited about instant character recognition, how they actually teach it and how they force it, because it's like fitness. It's like you need a buddy to do weightlifting with. You need a buddy to do like marathon running. You need a buddy for so many things, because the social facilitation really goes a long way. I've been sitting here by myself, and my only buddy has been you guys. And honestly, you guys just kind of like hang out and watch me and nod and drink beer with me, and you don't push me to like do like hard things. And so that's kind of on myself. And the only thing pushing me is lcwo.net. And I go into code groups and I like do a few things, and I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm tired. Josh, the beer is Dogfish Head 120-minute IPA, the Imperial India Pale Ale. It's really, I wouldn't say rare, but it's pretty rare because I couldn't find it it came out and it got like bought up in minutes. It's dry hopped for over a month and hopped over a 120-minute cycle, and it's a doozy. It's a 20% beer. If you go to the website, 15 to 20% Imperial IPA. So it's a slow sipper. It's not a chugger. All my friends have been sending me send a chug, share a chug, or do a chug, share. What do you call it? Like, I'm an old man now. I'm younger than this. I should know better. See a chug, send a chug. Share a chug, send it, something like that. Yeah, I think it's see a chug, send a chug. Where you chug a can of cheap beer and then you pass it along and you make your friends all get stupid over it. So I've been seeing that a lot. But I have a mission to accomplish, which is learning CW. So with all of that sending out of the way, push you out yonder, bring you up here, put the key in, get the beer in the... Wait, did this like slide? Oh. All right, perfect angle. Let us just do some receiving. How's that sound? I'm already lost. I know the first letter was 7. Okay. Let me get resituated, lock my chair, get a good posture going. And yeah, Dogfish Head is who sells it. Here's a quick overview of that again for Sandra Abarca. TazeOS, what made me want to learn is Reddit. I'll mention this really quick. The guy or person, Reddit person, CADR, started this challenge called the 90-day CW challenge. And obviously, I mean, so it's been 90 days since he posted this challenge. But obviously, this is day 42, which is, by the way, my favorite number. Cheers to 42. It's probably your favorite number, too. It's everyone's favorite number. That or 73. Haha, get it? Also, I had to shave because, face masks aren't compatible with beards, and my beard is making me look really, sad. Anyway, I just wanted to batten down and actually learn, head copy CW and actually learn, sending good and sending well and actually start doing contests and start doing events like Parks on the Air and whatnot. So he posted the 90-day CW challenge, which says, for 90 days, just go learn CW for 10 minutes a day. And I was like, that's perfect. I can do that. And then even better, I'm going to put a YouTube video out every day. I do that, which hasn't been every day because it's been 90 days since then. I've only put out 42 videos. So you can see, I've not slacked because there's a lot of things going on in life. I'm still doing full-time work and, I have a house and a wife and 2 cats and things to deal with. So it's not like I've had 100% of time. And now, especially during the virus season, which I feel I bet COVID is going to keep keep coming in seasons, which is what Dr. Fauci has been saying. You know, it might be seasonal, it might not go away during the summer, etc. Poor guy getting basically kicked out by Trump. All of the stuff kind of happening in ham radio. A lot of people are flocking to ham radio. A lot of people want to get it licensed. So you probably see me a lot in the remote testing sphere, because I'm working on a team that's putting together remote testing. We're putting together a kind of a phased turnkey solution. First of all, we're doing like this. We're using exam tools. You've seen Richard Bateman, KD7 BBC, who runs Ham Study and Signal Stick. That's his program that he's updating to add more features, so it's easier for VECs to operate, VE teams to use for fully remote testing. We're kind of stress testing different things, like we're on Zoom, fixing, seeing how well it works for remote testing, and that sort of thing. So that's taken up a lot of time. I'm working on the youngsters of young YOTA, youngsters on the air. In America, it's called Youth on the Air. I call a lot of times I call it Yoda America, Yoda Americas, because it has to do with the region 2 of IRU, and to kind of avoid having to explain what region 2 is every time. I just said it's the Americas, North America, South America. A youngsters on the air contingent that is, you know, for those two continents. And then also, and so with that, we have a camp going on in summer, which is definitely going to be postponed. It's just a matter of if we're going to postpone it to later in the year, if the virus numbers start really falling, or to next year. So we're trying to play around with that. And then I haven't really worked with YARC much, the Young Amateurs Radio Club. I know we had elections, and then I kind of like fell off the map for a while I was doing other stuff. Shout out to Yarkers who are in here watching. I'm sure there's some of you. So it's been a little busy. Along with that, like I'm trying to get in shape, and my wife decided to go jogging, and now I'm like, that's a really good idea. So about an hour a day, we go on a walk or a jog. So it's been a while since I've actually been on here. Anyway, what was I getting at? All right, gotten into the, what do you call it? The jive. Let me turn my noise canceling on so I can't hear the neighbors out hanging on the front porch. Probably listen to me too. And I'm gonna hit play. Knew there was a 4. Dang it. You're right. Noel Guy 3, Morse code is very hard. So, what the heck is going on? I hit a button, all right, and then this thing popped up, and I don't know what it is. My, this thing, it goes on the bottom of cup thing on table is made of metal. It's got that like bottle cap opener, and every time, you know, condensation flows onto this, it, like sticks to it and then carries along and then falls off somewhere. It's not very effective. And it fell on my keyboard and opened up Office, and I don't want to pin it, and I want to close you. So yeah, Morse code is really hard. It's incredibly hard. Like to really learn it and become proficient at it, it's super hard. To get an idea of the characters though, I think if you go through the lessons in the Coke method, which I'm going to put something to bed here. How do you pronounce Coke? K-O-C-H. A lot of people are like, is it cock? Is it coke? Is it kosh? I said cock. It says coke. And I don't think desktop audio is actually like sending out over anything. So that's probably not very helpful. You can't even hear anything. So I was doing Morse code testing. So I had my freaking speaker set up to something else, and then they changed. Does it work now? Does it work now?
Coke.
Yes.
Coke.
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 Coke. This says Coke. Pronunciation guide is not the troll one, by the way. I think. Maybe it is.
Ass donut.
April Fools!
Dirt no, you turd. Dirt no, you turd no.
Oh my god. Hi. My wife's here. So how do you actually pronounce Coke? Kosh? It's a toss-up. Because I've actually looked up like people's names. Or if you go to translate.google.com, you type in K-O-C-H, and then you English. This makes it German.
Koch.
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 The official German pronunciation, which I'm saying this is official because it's Google tries to do their best, is Koch.
Koch.
But in America,
Coke.
it's Coke.
Coke. Coke. Coke.
Right? Do you hear the difference? So, and then you have other people saying it's Kosh, which I haven't found the source of. And this is, I don't know how to read the IPA guide, which also shout out to IPAs. A. So it's the K as in kind, O as in code, O. This upside down ohm as in, U as in code. So K-O-O-U and K. Coke. Coke. So this is saying Coke. K-O-U-K. Because if I go to like Coke, maybe let me try to find, nope. Coca-Cola? Nope. Not everything has a pronunciation. Coke disambiguation, Coke surname. Oh, there's a lot of them. So this is Coke. Then this is K as in kind. O as in body. Co, and then T as in teach. Coach. Couch. Right? See, Josh? So that's coach. Like almost like the word coach. Because China. And then K is in kind, O is in body, and CH is in lock. So cock. A. And then here's another one. K is in kind, backwards C is in fraud, cow, Kauk. It's a German surname that means cook. So it's all in there. It's just a matter of, I guess, dialects and whatnot. So everyone is right. Every time I've said it's Coke, it's Kosh, it's Coca-Cola, it's not. It's all of them. And whatever somebody says is correct. You should take this, as a word of advice to say that don't correct anyone on the pronunciation of Coke or Kosh or cock. It's all of those, at least according to Wikipedia. Maybe I need to actually find a source that defines like what happened to the pronunciation of it, because it's a common German name. There had to have been somebody who has done that research, or somebody with the name of Coke or Kosh or Coke or Cock to have that thing. Anyway, so as I was saying, to Normal Guy 3, who's probably gone by now, Morse code is very hard. It took me quite a while to like figure it out. And this was like many years of quite a while. Like if you go back to old school YouTube Sterling, if I can type. Wow, okay. Calm down. youtube.com/c/n0ssc. Getting to it. Go to videos. And some of my first videos are doing Morse code, and you're like, you've known Morse code forever. Not true. I have never known Morse code. I just like kind of memorized some stuff. So the very fourth video I've ever made was me working K5 Delta on 40 CW.
I'm gonna try to work K5B on 40 meters CW. Right now he's working.
And the way that I did this
here
is I used a. Oof, wow.
We're gonna
Wait,
try to
is he
work
live? Oh, of course he is.
on 40 meters
What's up?
CW. Right now he's working.
Oh, we'll fix that.
The European Union,
Huh?
EU. So
My hair looks funny right now too.
Tell you how I'm working,
Yikes.
I'm doing it.
God, why am I such a weirdo? So the way that I did this is the CW. I think it's Mix W, the old program that did CW. It did a lot of like digital modes, and it would decode the CW for me. But also when you do work DX, they send the same thing every single time. Call sign 599. Call sign 599. Call sign 599. So I expected. I knew what to really expect, and I just had to wait for a couple of cues like thank you, QRZ, CQ.
Here's a really bad case of some jammers.
Amazing videography, by the way. So here's where I actually worked them. Listen. That was U, the letter U, dot, 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 but I didn't hear the T because I was listening to the input. There's a strategy I won't go too much into because it'll bore everyone, which, I mean, hopefully you're all not bored right now. But you notice how I'm 10 megahertz, I'm literally 10 kilohertz above his transmit frequency. So when I was sending, about 10. So it's 7033, but his transmit frequency is 7023. That's called split. I send my call sign twice. And I'm using a keyer, by the way. And that's when I heard my like I knew my call sign so well because that's the only thing I knew that I could respond. Question mark. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. Oh. And he says, thank you.
We got him.
We got him! We got him! Yeah, it was a struggle for him. I don't know what was going on, or her, whoever the op was. Honestly, I could probably go find out. But like, I could tell just by kind of understanding what was going on, the general gist of the protocol of a DX contact. I didn't know a single letter he sent, besides my call sign and besides thank you, and the signal report. So.
Oh my gosh, that was really confusing because he kept screwing up on my call sign for some reason.
For some reason.
But as you see here, well, you can't really see there. In the blue, N0 SSC5, and then I said, and then he said N0 SSC2.
Yeah. So I was using a decoder. I didn't know CW. And then you can go even further into my first unassisted CW contact.
Guys, I think this is one for the record books.
One for the record books, he says. And I talk about, and it's another similar kind of thing, a DX station, let's see, who was it?
PJ4/K2NG.
Kilowatt 2 November Golf in PJ4 land. That's the Bon Air is up in here. And what I'm doing in this CW contact is I'm listening to 3 things, maybe 4. His call sign, which I barely knew. My call sign, thank you, and 599, not in that order. But basically, I'm listening for other people's, his reply to other persons, other operators. And when he says other operators call sign, 599, other operator says thank you, he says thank you, something like that. Then I pounce on it. And I just send my call sign. He sends my call sign back. I send your 599, thank you. He sends thank you. Or, yeah, thank you. Something like that, right? None of this required me to know any CW. Like, it just was the sound of this. Thank you, and that, 599. So, long-winded conversation pulled short. CW is hard, but you don't need to know all of CW to be a CW operator. But to be extra proficient, you really do. You really do need to know CW really well. And you have to go through courses, you have to go through a lot of QSOs, you have to go through a lot of contests. All of that. All right, so I know we've done one of these, and I'm this far through the beer. It's time to do another one of these. It's almost like drinking a bottle of wine. Jeez. I gotta start a new channel for My Drunk Ham. Like, you know, My Drunk Kitchen, but the Drunk Ham. Although that would probably get some bad press, bad connotation, because I know I'm not a drunk. I'm not a drunk. I swear to drunk. I'm not drunk. Drunk. Let's just notice this too. At the bottom of this glass is like a massive amount of solids. Well, you can see it better in that one. I do homebrew, so I'm like nerd beer nerd. All right. That was not D. That was G. So much worse than the first time I did it, but surprisingly not terrible, considering. I gotta go check out because it looks like YouTube has desynchronized. Oh yeah, no one has actually communicated in the chat because sometimes OBS desynchronizes with YouTube, but yeah, no, the last person out was Josh Nass, who, by the way, got 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, dude. I have 2 notifications in Discord. Oh, it's Cards Against Humanity going on right now with my friends, so I might call it a day. Should also probably throw in some agua. Yeah, so if anybody's here to actually watch me do some serious CW and get some proficiency up, I'm very sorry. Oh, Chuck, you're still here. Good to have you. So anyway, I'm very sorry that you wanted to see me actually do some CW and to get good. This is more of a National Beer Day stream, and I've only gotten through one. I packed a whole provision kit. There's like a bunch of beers in here. You don't even know what they are. This is the kitty's pajamas. Pretty sure there was a Hams in here, in fact. Oh, of course there is. There's always a Hams in there. Hams is my favorite beer. And it's not because it says Hams. It's because it's like really cheap and kind of good. And I was one day looking up like what's the best cheap beer. And believe it or not, Hams isn't on this list. Hams beer was on a list somewhere. So like Beer Advocate says 66. Best cheap beer. I gotta remember what website it was on that I saw it. Hams is not on here either. 36. Grain Belt Premium. Near second, of course. Nope, it's on here. This one says Coors Banquet. Man, it was on some website. Somewhere I saw that the cheapest beer is actually really good. This you can get at a Quick Trip at a gas station. Here it is. This is it. Like many classic American beers, Hams, blah, 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 blah. Easy drinking as they come. Wonderful player and a boil. What is a Boilermaker? And it was just like something that kind of spoke with me, and I found out like, oh, you can get it at Quick Trip. And we have tons and tons of Quick Trips all over here. And of course, they sell it for $13 a 30 rack. So every couple of months, I get a 30 rack. I fill up my bottom drawer in my beer fridge of Hams, and I say for all my friends who come to my parties, the Hams is at the bottom, and that's the cheap beer you can have. And then sometimes I get other macros like Bud Light or Coors, or I was on a Miller Lite kick, and now I'm back on a Bud Light kick, and now and then all the top shelves are all the nice stuff. Da da dit p, da 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 o. Da 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 da. Wait, there's Kyle. Your Morsing is ambiguous. It's literally like me saying. What was that? You gotta put some spaces in there, bud. But I think it was P. O. No. Da 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 o. Da 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 da. Nope, I'm wrong. A new cage, grocery store, Tesco's, mega store. Hey, it's Cater, Mega Cater. I was talking about you, talking about the this thing, about how I've gone so far. Why can't this value beer? That reminds me. Picture worth 1,000 words, right? In Georgia, there's the emergency drinking beer. I go to Georgia a lot because of my my wife. Her family is from Atlanta. This is all over the place down there. All-purpose blend, emergency drinking beer. Very, very like my absolute favorite art, like on a beer can ever. See, the Tesco value beer shows up. It's just beer. Oh, that's so funny. I really love the the fact of sometimes I go to the store and I just want beer. Like, I just want beer. Like, I don't want an IPA. I don't want a pale ale. I don't want Kolsch. I just want beer. And, like, this is literally what I would get. Is the most beery beer that you could possibly imagine. And it's just beer. Like, it's... And that's the problem. Like, you can't get Equate beer. You can't get, like, great value beer in the U.S. You can't get... you know, home brand stores like that. You have everyone it's brand dominated, and to be well, I mean, theoretically, like Great Value could make beer, right? I don't know. Maybe there's crazy American laws against it. Anyway, Kyle said, that's POO. P B T T B. No, B E E beep. B E E poop beep. Yeah. Poop beep. I don't get it. Are you drunk too, Kyle? Because da did it is poop pe. Oh, you just missent it while typing. I get it. Okay. Poop beer. Heh. You said poop. All right. I'm getting stupid. This has been the course of one single Dogfish Head 120-minute IPA. Thanks, Jake Armenta. Shit. Thanks, Jake, for putting this in my fridge. It's been really great. And he's the person who got me the beer, by the way. Man, my mind is just going a million miles a minute. But that's because of this 20% beer. I had it up here on screen earlier. So, yeah, this was the worst stream I've ever done. This isn't a Morse code stream. I should like kind of categorize this as what not to do when learning Morse code is drink alcohol, because you get distracted and then you don't learn Morse code. Dogfish is in Delaware, indeed. Milton, Delaware. And this one is a special one because it's super expensive and somewhat sort of rare. So, and this is water, it's not vodka. And man, how to pronounce? Kyle, you really like this. You know how Coke? You probably weren't here. When I described how to pronounce Coke.
Coke. Coke. Coke.
You hear how it's pronounced, right? Like the Coke method of learning Morse code, which is learning like a letter at a time. Well, you know.
Our perfect system's thrown into the void. Something is going to happen in 13 days.
All right. I was like so thrown aback because I really actually thought this video was the pronunciation of Coke, because that is a pronunciation of Coke. Like it legitimately is. When I looked up, like there are 1, 2, 3, 4 pronunciations of the surname Koch, which means cook in German. It's Koch, Koch, Kosh, and Koch, whatever. I don't know. I went through these earlier. But like here is the actual one.
Pronounce names.
Koch. Koch. Like an American can't really pronounce it that well. So the Americanization happened and it got turned into Coke. But it also got turned into Kosh, because CH can make a ch sound. And it also got turned into cock, because CH can make a k sound, for some reason. Anyway, thought you liked that. All right, I'm gonna turn down this stream for what? For one empty beer thing that I found in the dumpster. Which I did. I found this in the dumpster. It was just sitting in the recycling along with a fork, a knife, a dinner plate with some food still on it, this beer glass, and a couple other paraphernalia, there was a frying pan. Like somebody took their entire dinner and just threw it in the recycling. And this was there. I washed it out, dishwashed it, sanitized it. It's mine now. Anyway, congratulations to Josh Hoshnasi for Ham Radio Crash Course reaching 100,000 views, or 100,000 subscribers. Let me put that accurately. And 10,060,060 views, 10,060,680 views overall. Amazing. Thanks for the follow, Fast Marigold 315. I'm sorry if you don't want to learn Morse code here, but also I'm sorry if you do want to learn Morse code because this is the worst stream to actually come across me. What are you doing over there? You resorted to... No, I was throwing away my recycling, just dumping it into the recycling, and on the top was like this perfect pint glass, and I do not have any nice brewery or pub style pint glasses. I just don't. I just have fancy glasses because we're fancy or whatever. And this one's specifically interesting because it's from Tallgrass, which not only I've been to, but this is where my dad went to college in Manhattan, Kansas. So it just so happens that I found it in a dumpster. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I've been really into the idea of making an aluminum parts and pieces, foundry style, as a hobby, making an aluminum foundry. And to do that, use aluminum cans, and I drink a lot of aluminum cans, mostly in the form of sparkling water, but also partially in the form of Coke Zero, and also partially in the form of beer. So, speaking of beer, now that I'm done with this one, I guess I'll crack open this one. But I won't let you see me delve down into the, pits of... That's a head. The pits of drunken stupor for too long. So I'll say 73 shortly. What else can I ramble on about? Just get full screen here. Now that I have the person who started it all, Megacator, and I have Chuck, the person that I went on a really cool hike with, and I have Kyle, the person who lives a mile away from me, and the person who is just sitting around, because I still have 11 viewers. I don't know, maybe we can actually do something cool. Talk about remote testing. Talk about stuff and whatnot. It'd be cool if I could pull somebody on the stream or something. If you're bored, come on my stream. I don't really know what's this is why I'm a bad streamer, because I can focus on learning Morse code, but once I get out of my element, then I'm SOL, because I guess I can just do look how. Well, this is not a URL box. I guess I could just do this for a while. Fire up Zoom. I'm not firing up Zoom for this. You can call me on Skype, though. Actually, I'll fire up Zoom. No, I don't want to fire up Zoom. I can do Google Hangouts. Because also Skype cuts to install, as you can see. Convenient. But Google Hangouts doesn't. No way. They are? SodaBeams is going to do... Where's my browser? Oh, it's been right here the whole time. Soda beams. Okay, so doublet. I've been really, really like my Kyle actually knows because he got me the coax, the twin lead for doublet, and I haven't put it up still because I'm debating on myself of whether to use this tree as in my front yard as the support for my thing because it's the city's tree, you know. I'm gonna get Kyle on this business. Well, it's trippy. Dude!
You there?
Maybe. Are you there?
Right. Hang on, I gotta go shut the other laptop down. Hang on.
All right. Kicked out. Well, oh, no, actually, I know what you're talking about. Screw it, I'll just search them. Soda beams. And then, link dipole. Can't click. I'll be honest, this tastes like water after drinking that thing. So, Ham Radio, or Soda Beams, put out Ham Radio Ventures 13. This is an effective portable antenna, and it is a doublet. It's a long open wired line into like 100 feet of wire. And this is the antenna I'm trying to make. And Kyle, you were the person that like gave me got me the stuff to make this. But I still haven't put it up because that tree in the front yard is I don't know, call it sacred, call it permitted, call it like I should just climb up there and tie something.
What I think what you do is I bring over my slingshot shooter. We just throw a line up there and you just call it good.
Just shoot your shot over my tree. I've been wanting to like do it in my backyard just to do it. Just to, because you've done that on my backyard tree, and then the rope fell out because I pulled it up too high, and then the wrench I had holding the counterweight to try to pull it back down because I was readjusting things. It was too high and it wouldn't like sink, and I just had to say screw it and make it come down. Well, I'll do the volume thing. And so the rope came up, but I needed to come back so I could put in another like piece of wire just because I'm like getting antsy. Like I have a bunch of computers and stuff to do remote into my 7300.
Yeah.
I actually got one on eBay. You asked for a streamer rig on one of the chats, and I've been finding that the Optiplex, like kind of Dell Optiplex series, people have been selling them. Like people always been selling like Dell computers like crazy on eBay for really cheap. For $88 for 66, like all told, like for the actual like bidding, but the shipping was like another 20. I got a 3.8 gigahertz i7 with 8 gigabytes of RAM, an outboard GPU. It's not like the best one, but it's like their top tier Optiplex GPU that you can get through the Dell website. Basically, somebody spec'd out a video editing machine on the Dell website, which is just like don't do that, but like. And then they got tired of doing it, or they didn't hit it gold on YouTube like, you know, we have. And they just sold it, and I got like an $800 machine for $88
On the Dell website?
on eBay.
Oh, on eBay.
Yeah,
on
so he
eBay.
shipped it. I mean, it's yet to come, so it might be a scam or something, but I don't know.
So you're gonna use this to remote contest, or what are you gonna use this for?
Just put my 7300 on remote. Also to put a Minecraft server up. I have a Minecraft server running on this computer, and it's like every time I do something intensive, like especially video editing, you can see like right here, it can't keep up. It's a server overloaded, running 2 milliseconds, 31 milliseconds behind. And so for people on the server, it's my friends from St. Louis. They're they notice that as a server lag.
Wow. So I think I think we need to build that doublet like soon, and we need to get that thing up in the trees. And even if
Yeah.
we shoot that large tree in your front yard, why don't we just go on Amazon and buy 1,000 or a 300 foot of camouflage paracord,
Right.
and let's just shoot that tree, and no one will ever know.
Well, so I have a few thoughts. I don't want to just like I almost want to like strategically put the like I had a thought like maybe I should actually call for a permit or like say, hey city, I'm gonna do this right, like the right way, and because I've made this public many times, and if I put a wire up and they cite me for it, and then they can see like me like conspiring against them
Okay.
this whole
All right.
time. But I know an arborist from St. Louis who is a YouTuber. I don't know if he's doing arborist stuff right now because he's going through some dire straits and having problems with his life. His name's Human. If you just look up Human on YouTube, but he climbs trees and cuts them. At some part of my life, I just got really into like people cutting down trees and talking about their lives and stuff. And this guy like just popped up, and he lives out in like I think Maplewood or Chesterfield or somewhere, O'Fallon, St. Peter's. He does work all over St. Louis. And I started noticing landmarks, and he started talking about St. Louis and driving on 64 and 44 and 270 and whatnot. And I'm like, dude, I should hire this guy to like climb the tree, get a ratchet strap or some kind of like, not Velcro, nylon webbing kind of strap, tie me a loop so I can hang a pulley, and then, get a pulley up so I can have a place where I can like raise, lower, and not have to worry about like rope tension on the
Right.
on the actual branches or stuff. And that would kind of represent something like saying, hey, I'm doing my due diligence to protect this tree, not putting too much tension on it, not putting too much I don't know, basically a rope would kind of grow into the tree or start sawing it, but a pulley with a
Right.
a wide enough strap would be very protective to the tree,
Yeah, you're giving the tree some love.
Yeah. So I'm doing my due diligence to protect the tree. It's not an eyesore by any means. I don't live in an HOA, so I'm lucky on that behalf. My neighbors wouldn't care. Actually, I asked my neighbors one day because he has a really tall pine tree, and it was like, can I put a wire into it? He was like, sure, I guess, as long as it's out of the way. And the only reason why I don't do that is because it crosses over actual power lines, like mains lines
Wow.
into like my other neighbors, and I'm not going to deal with that. But this one
Well-
is exactly 110 feet, which is perfect for 80 meters. For the most part. And yeah, I do have I kind of have a tuner. You have the tuner in the 7300.
Yeah.
And then I also have what do you call it? The mobile tuner, the SGC. I got a
The
tuner. No,
the
it's,
ICOM AT tuner.
no, well, it's similar. It's a tuner you attach to your bumper, but it's made by SGC.
Oh. Well, you got two choices. Either you can go down the right way, and it's probably going to take you till summer before they get the permits, or they look at the permit because everyone's gone from the government, right?
Absolutely.
Either you do it the right way, which you should. Everyone should do everything the right way, right?
Right.
And it's either they're in a state of panic right now, and they're going to literally accept anything,
Or deny everything.
or deny everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And I definitely want to do it. And even if I don't do it, like if they don't approve it, like that's how I would choose to do it. Like,
So once you get your chimney tuck pointed, is there an option to put a pulley on your chimney and then bring it down to that tree in the backyard?
well, that's just too short. Like I want 80 meters.
You can get a 20-meter dipole out of that.
80 meters is not an option. It is a requirement. That's my thing. Like I'm really reluctant to put anything up. Like sometimes I put a vertical in my backyard, like with the 30-meter pole, or 30-foot pole. But like I die.
Yeah, Commander.
Well, I would do that too, but then I need like deal with the radio system and stuff. I put an infed half wave in the backyard.
Yeah.
The DX Commander. What I worry about vertical is because the noise situation, the LED lights and whatnot. Like even with an infed half wave, which has been my only antenna of experience so far in my backyard, it's just like unbelievable amount of noise, even on 20 and 10 meters. Like, it just isn't tenable. Like, I mean, I could work FD8, but like, boring.
Yeah.
And
But even if you put a doublet up, an 80-meter doublet, you're still gonna have to deal with the noise.
but it's horizontal. And
Yeah, but-
and if it's higher up, like I might not have to deal with it. And if I do have to deal with it, then so be it. My second plan to this is I've been watching who does the beverage on ground? BOG. Somebody on YouTube. It's not Soda Beams, but I think somebody has explained it.
I don't know.
See you, Kevin.
I know that Kevin Laughlin, the guy that lives in the RV,
Yeah.
he's done one.
Oh, well, maybe that's it. But basically, a beverage on ground, a really quiet antenna for receive, all band, all mode, whatever, would be my receive antenna, and then transmit would be the doublet or a vertical. And so, like, yeah, maybe I should just go with a vertical. Chuck, you said. And 110 feet, by the way, Chuck in the chat, is exactly the distance between these two trees, which is what's making me so, like, I gotta make this happen. Like,
Where are you going to put the beverage on the ground? You're going to put it in the cracks in the sidewalk?
not a BOG, sorry, a log, an LOG, a loop on ground.
Oh, the loop on grid.
So
yeah, that
I would
guy,
put that in
Yeah.
my garden, just make a perimeter out of my backyard, and that'd be a perfect, like, for whatever. Like, it doesn't really matter what the length is, honestly.
Right. Yeah,
It's
I've
just-
seen that loop on ground.
Hmm.
Let me see who does that on the YouTube. It's KK5 JY Kilo 5 Juliet Yankee.
I think that you're right. Yeah, that's it. Because you can see I've watched 4 minutes and 16 seconds of it.
Right, but Sterling, I have looked at that for Missouri QSO, and it's gotten mixed reviews. But I mean, it's an antenna, right? It doesn't,
Right.
different mileage for different people, right?
Different strokes for different folks,
Yep.
if you will.
Um,
Yeah.
I think you just got to get on the air, man. You got to get an antenna up. Antenna.
A antenna. You're right. Which is why I am
Because you know what?
overthinking it.
Right. You know what I did this weekend? Missouri QSO was this weekend, right?
Yep.
And so I made 25 CW contacts, and I wish
really?
that I would have started earlier.
Well, tell us about your CW contacts, because you've stumbled upon a CW live stream.
Oh, I have. Is this what this
Is this a CW live stream? I don't know. Like, I
was there-
don't see any CW over here.
Yeah. I
I haven't heard one for like at least an hour.
earlier in the stream because I don't see one right now. Oh, there it is. There it is.
My CW thing fell off. I'm trying to LOL. Yeah, I can't do it.
No, that was a 5. That was 4
Too
5s.
too many 805s.
So what I did was I started the CW Rampage on Sunday, and I wish I would have started on Saturday. And what happened was my friend Scott in D9E was texting me and saying, "Hey, there's multipliers out there on CW." And I'm like, "Oh man, do I go over there? They're probably running 30 words a minute, blah blah blah." So I scrolled over to 40 meters, and I could hear them in the noise, and then they came up, and after about 3 or 4 times them sending CQ test or CQ MOQP, I was getting the da 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 did it or da 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 da, and then but they were sending so fast that it took me like probably 5 of their CQs before I got the full call sign.
Oh yeah,
and then
that's what
and
I was
then
talking about earlier.
Right, and then I was Whiskey Zero Whiskey. I would send Whiskey Zero Whiskey at 15 or 18 words a minute, and they would slow down to like about. They would send their call. They would send my call sign at 30 words, and then slow down to like 25 in the next, in their 599, and then they would slow down to like 20 words a minute to send their counties. So it was a gradual slowdown, but I knew what to expect. I knew that the next thing that they were going to send was my call sign.
Yeah.
And I knew the next thing that they were going to send was a 599. And then I already got their county because I was listening to the QSO.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. I don't know if you're watching, but when I did my first CW contacts, and I was talking about my history of my channel, and like somebody asked or said in the chat, I find CW or Morse code difficult or hard. And I was like, yeah, it's really hard. But like even when I was like back as a youngster way in the past, I like didn't have to know Morse code to be a Morse code operator, a CW operator. I just had to find the cues like thank you, which is, and then 599, whatever that was, and catch onto those and just with that I can know, like, because what they send is just very simple, like it's 599 thank you, 599 thank you, 599 thank you.
If you want to, so I'm learning CW. I'm about probably a month behind you, Sterling. I still have like 1 and 0 and D to learn, like the last 3 letters, right?
D.
Well, that's like the last.
How you learn?
D.
No, what?
Well,
D is not the
I
last
know
letter
D.
in LCWO.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wait, really?
It's like 0, 1, and D.
Yeah, it's C1 Delta 60 X-ray.
Yeah,
Or the
X-ray.
last 6 letters. X.
So I'm getting close, right?
Yeah.
And I've been watching Kevin, that K6 ARK, whenever he
his videos are awesome.
Yeah, he's
because they're
I love his video.
they're almost tranquil, like to a point, like.
And you can I learn so much whenever I watch his videos. But the great thing about CW, contesting CW or Soda CW or Parks on the Air CW, is you know what is expected, and you don't have to be a very good CW operator to operate CW, because you know the cadence and you know what's coming next. Right? Like, you know that in Missouri QSO, they're going to send their call. You know, they're going to call CQ test or CQ MOQP. They're going to send in their county, right? Mm-hmm. So, and you know what 599 is, the 5NN, and you probably have already gotten their call sign. So the only thing that you probably don't know is their county, and then you just send another question mark, right? And they'll send their county again.
Or you just say thank you and you go on, but like they'll send their county again in the next QSO, and you hear it. That's like the only way I've ever done CW. And this is like where I'm like putting my foot down and saying, I want to know what happens when you send. What is that? Like, you know what it is.
Right.
What was that? What did I just send?
I don't know. I didn't hear it.
I screwed it up.
That's...
Can you actually hear it, though?
It's very faint.
Oh, well, it's M. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Let me fix it.
M-O, yes. There you go. I was like, I hear you said something, but
I can't tell like how loud it is to you. It's...
Right. Well, and that's what they go over in the CW class, the academy, or the what's the class that you're taking?
The CW Academy.
Yeah, the CW Academy is you do the head copy with all the states and 599 and test and you know all that stuff. So whenever you send da, you know that it's Mo, and dit, that's Delaware, and you know, and you don't even think about it. You're like, oh, that's Delaware.
That's what I'm trying to get to, like to the point of instantly, like that's Delaware or dang it, that's Wyoming or Washington,
right?
California, which you probably can't hear, but somebody might.
No,
but yeah, it's funny because I can send these things, but like receiving, it's a matter of buffer first of all and focus. Like I have to be 100% like into it. If I'm not, if I hear like, so my wife's like watching some Teen Mom 2 or football or something, like some brainless kind of like TV. She loves it. Friday Night Lights is also like something she watches a lot. But I'll have my door open. She'll probably hear me, but I can hear it. And like if I just catch on to something that like catches my interest, like why are these people so dumb? I'll like lose my train of thought. Which is not. I'm not saying she shouldn't. And if she's watching this or if she's hearing me, she shouldn't stop watching it. I'm just saying like distraction and like lack of focus destroys my capability to learn CW. And like K6ARK as well. He's even mentioned that too on some streams and on his videos. You know that if he's not focused, it turns into brain farts, and his last video was brain farts and forgotten parts on Kahlua.
Yeah, I watched that where he couldn't send a 3 to save his life.
Yeah, and it was funny. And I'll go back to it really quick. The really cool thing about his videos is they're really long, but a lot of it is it's just operating Morse code. He puts out the text of what he's sending.
Right.
And it's really good for practicing. And we've been telling him like, yeah, keep up this work because like for us people learning Morse code, this is like really helpful because you have it on in the background. We can see and look up and like, yep, I knew you were sending a BK or a 5 to 9 or, you know, and it also shows you the structure of a POTA QSO or a SOTA QSO.
Right. You know, and the one thing
Which
that
is just cool.
I've noticed too with learning CW is I will have 2 days in a row or 3 days in a row where I'm really things are happening, right? I'm
jiving, you're gelling.
Jiving, I'm gelling, I'm, you know, everything. And then I will have a day where I can't distinguish a Y from a K, you know? And you're just like, what is going on? I was doing so well.
Yeah.
And then I'll put it down for a day and then I'll come back and it'll take me 2 or 3 minutes to get back up to speed, but then I'm back, you know, in the groove, you know? Mm-hmm. But I'm the opposite of you. So what I'll do is I'll stream something on the television, and I will do Morse Runner, and that's how I get focus.
Yeah.
Is I will have something in the background and be concentrating on the CW.
So you need like or do you really need it, or is it just like your crutch, or
No,
just something
I
like
don't.
distract you, or?
No. I do that to train my mind to focus on the CW.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. Well, I guess I'm almost in the same case because I had my window open and my neighbors were like talking about me earlier, and then my wife's watching TV and.
Is he live streaming up there?
Well, he would know if I had my green screen up. They would know, but I didn't today because I'm lame. You can actually see the two like clothes hanger coat racks things, the IKEA things that I put together. It turns out they work really, really well with binder clips, but I only have like one binder clip in my whole house, and the rest of them are like these cheap. Like I went to Amazon and got clothes hangers or clothes hanger clips, metal ones, which just it's gone now. That was my only one. And they don't work. They don't work at all. Like they barely hang on. But yeah, that's interesting though, because like actually putting on a distraction and forcing yourself to like learn, it in the presence of distraction is novel.
Yeah, that's
cool.
that's what I have to do. I have to, and I've also learned that my short-term memory is horrible. Mm-hmm. Like if I have, that's why head copy is probably going to be a challenge for me. Is because after I hear 4 letters or 4 numbers, I've forgotten what the first letter is.
Oh yeah, mine's even shorter. The mental buffer is what I've been calling it, and what KB3 something on Reddit has called it too. I think it's a common thing, like the mental buffer of like, you know, you hear, and it's like, okay, I remember the first letter, in, but then what was the rest? Like, I don't know.
Right.
And the struggle is really like, it's not only instant character recognition of like a single letter, but it's also like the whole word that they're trying to send. But if it's like random letters, like if it's a call sign, like how does people like K1ZZ or N0AX or I don't know, numerous like CW operators? How do they like hear a call
K5BT.
sign and they can just like, that was this?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because
Well-
words have their own sounds, but then what do call signs sound like?
But it's the same thing. So it's the same thing with contesting. So whenever a perfect example is there is KK5GG. He's not a big contester, but I have worked him in every single contest I have ever participated in. And whenever his voice comes on and he says kilo kilo, I can automatically go ahead and put a 5 and a GG in 1mm because I know it's him. So I think it's the same thing with
Right.
Ward and K3LR and K9CT and the guys at 1 kilo tango that they have contested for so long and they know those call signs. They know and they know how these operators send CW.
Yeah.
Is they just automatically know.
I mean, they've been doing it for 30, 40 years.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
that's the thing. Like, I've been doing it for, I wouldn't say 10 years because that's about the time that I've been into ham radio in general. And that's, if you look back at my YouTube, that's like how long I've been doing CW, but like it's come in spurts. Like, it hasn't actually like been a full on effort. It hasn't been like, I haven't been constantly contesting or constantly doing this. I'm not the consummate ham. Well, maybe I am the consummate ham, but I'm not like the obsessive ham who just does ham radio 100% of the time, you know?
right.
As opposed to these retirees who have also like grown up in a completely different era where like they were growing up as a kid in an era where ham radio was like the cat's pajamas, right?
That
It was the only way to communicate.
That was the TV. That was the TV at night, right? You'd come home from school,
Yeah.
and some of these guys and gals that got their license in the 60s and the 70s, they'd come home and either the TV was on and there was only 2 channels to watch, and then the kids were like, "Oh, well, I'm just going to go play on my shortwave radio."
Exactly. And now, kids these days.
Now there's totally different, more distractions. What's wrong with kids these
but
days?
people getting into ham radio, the only people I know of, or I can count on one hand, is KG5HVO, Bryant, NN1C, Marty. What's his call sign? He's in Canada. The guy in Canada, like the younger, like I'm talking about younger people who have gotten into Morse code, who have very plastic brains, who are able to learn things really quickly. Those are like the great operators, but I can only count those on one hand. Like I don't know dozens of operators. I only know a few, and I might be getting into a conversation of like the future of ham radio, because 30 years down the road, these CW operators are going to be non-existent.
Right.
Like the ones now, they will expire. Sadly, go SK.
Well, it's like
Who are
classic
replacing
rock,
them?
Yeah, classic rock musicians, right?
Yeah.
They're in 20 years, they're all not going to be around anymore, right?
Mhm.
And who's going to be touring in 20 years? Where is Justin Bieber going to be and Taylor Swift and those are the only 2 names that I know, and Justin Timberlake. Those are the only 3 names that I know that are going to be around in 30 years. What's going to happen to Aerosmith? What's going to happen to Leonard Skinner? What's going to happen to Journey and REO Speedwagon and all the great, they're all going to be gone. Same thing with CW. They're all going to be gone, and the bands, the lower part of each band is going to be absolutely dead because there's not going to be any CW operators.
Yeah, that's a huge point. And people who are like out in the peanut gallery right now, like on Facebook and whatnot, who are the older group, who are in that group right now, they will pass on eventually and kind of leave us to what? Like when we ourselves are in our 50s and 60s, like, are we going to have a lot of hams like come in and like no Morse code and no contesting like we do, have been doing it for 30, 40 years? Like that is going to become a really like small niche. Like the group of like the ham venture will turn into like, a yearly gathering of like 20 people. Like, I don't know, something like that. As you go on forward. And Samson Ponzu says FT8 is the future of ham radio. FT8 is the now of ham radio, to be honest. Like, but I don't think it is really the future of ham radio. I think ham radio will make many, you know.
I think it's. I think
will have many things ahead of it. But
the great thing about ham radio, or the great thing about ham radio, and the great thing about FT8 is it's something that you can do now while the sunspots are low, and making contacts is more of a challenge.
Yeah,
I totally think that in 5 to 7 years, you're going to see a decline in FT8, and you're going to see a rise in single sideband and CW operating.
Yeah. Well, I almost think that if you're making an FT8 conversation with somebody, and in the scope of like, okay, you can get FT8 below the noise, but like 99% of FT8 contacts are well above the noise, well above like an S9, S5. Like you could basically make a CW contact or any mode contact with somebody who you make contact with an FT8, unless you're like working on a very like specific frequency with a SCED, like for the low noise and or for the very low signal modes, like you need to have like almost a SCED, an isolated frequency, because FT8, like the FT8 band spread is so crowded that everyone you make contact with is going to be above the noise floor considerably, which means you can hear them, which means you can make a CW contact with them. But there was a learning curve in Morse code, and a lot of people won't take that because they can just do FT8 or whatever, will be in the future.
So what's the verdict on? So whenever they took away the CW requirement for getting a license, there was even more CW operators. Do you think that because the decline of ham radio operators, I mean, there's 700,000 ham operators in America right now, right? But how many of them actually get on the air on HF, right? Have no idea.
Yeah, no, not a fraction of them, yeah.
But do you think that as time goes on, those younger hams and those hams that are, whenever I say younger, I mean like 50 and below, they are going to get more mature in their hobby, and one of the things that they will take on is learning CW to be another piece of the pie that they want to learn.
That's what's really going on right now, I think, is kind of a renaissance of CW. A lot of people we don't know are learning Morse code, and you can see like from the Reddit threads and stuff. People are just learning it because it seems fun, it seems interesting, and it also presents like an effective way to communicate. Not in a disaster or anything. I really kind of try to tamp down the IMCOM like side of ham radio as much as I can, because IMCOM is like this little like this much of the where's my thing, this much of ham radio, and then you have all of this other stuff going on over here. It's just a good way to communicate. It's simple, it's easy, and it also uses your brain, so you don't need like a computer to haul up to the mountain summit. And you can make a lot more conversations, a lot more QSOs with a minimal amount of equipment than what you originally had, right? So
and I think that there is a what's the law? Is it Moore's law, where like there's only so much, like on computer chips, right? CPUs, right? There's only so much stuff you can jam into a computer chip before it becomes, you can't put any more stuff on it, right? So what is that point with ham radio where we have hit that threshold? Is there something where you what's after FT8?
Ham radio, yeah,
right. The threshold where
do we really keep going on with like CW single sideband, like the traditional ham radio, or does like FT8 spark a revolution of kind of like
more digital modes,
more new modes, more novel things like that? I'm not really sure.
At some point, does the time frame between this next FT8 craze get to a point where hams say, you know what, I need something more now? What is something I can do now? Well, I haven't learned CW. All right, I'll take that on as a challenge.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people are doing now, because thanks to CADR, right?
Yeah.
And other people, even people like on YouTube, like K6ARK, showing Morse code. WG0AT, the famous
Soda Goat.
Soda Goat. He uses a lot of CW. Does do some single sideband, but mostly CW, I think.
Yep. There's a new guy that just popped up, and he started doing videos.
Oh.
Yep. Let's see if I can find him. His name is let me go to my. I know I've saved one of his videos to watch. Come on. Christian Claiborne.
On YouTube?
On YouTube, yep. He is another soda guy that does his CW stuff and prints it out on the screen.
It's probably not this Christian Claiborne.
No, type in, let's see, hang on. Type in San Marcos Mountain, SanMarcosMTN. There you go, up there at the top.
Subscribe.
Yep, he's another good one. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of subscribers, nor does he have a lot of videos, but he he goes up with K6 ARK.
Oh, I see. He's even got 60 frames per second. Look at that. Well, I'm not streaming 60 frames, but like it is smooth.
Yeah, it's like butter.
Yeah.
Okay, what you're looking
Very
at
cool.
is
Yeah, so it's this weekend, Sterling made me really realize that because I didn't know CW and I'm not very proficient in it, and compared to everyone else that like our mutual friend Ward, where it literally is a almost a first language for him. I really realized I was driving home from Missouri QSO thinking, man, I missed out on so many multipliers and so many points. I mean, I did well this weekend, but I could have done so much better if I would have started chasing multipliers on Saturday and using my CW skills that I have already acquired. And I'm kicking myself now.
It's all right. You consider the circumstances. You had a lot of fun, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, had a ton of fun. But it's one of those defining moments where I'm like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
it was an eye-opening experience where I'm just like, man, I really wish that I would have done this years ago.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to avoid in the future, but like it's hard, like learning Morse code and getting proficient with it, and then also anticipating the future of like what's the actual demand of it. Like, is this I'm doing this for fun? Everyone who's learning Morse code is going to be doing this for their own sake, like their own enjoyment. Right. I don't think they're really learning it to like try to achieve a goal that is extrinsic to their own in their own mind, unless they like have a friend in class who like knows Morse code and they like send secret messages or something, which is like I've been saying the only way that kids are learning Morse code, and that was a thing even my day and my mom's day and her mom's day, like Yeah. But at this point, it's like I'm just learning Morse code because it seems like a fun thing to do. Yeah. If I want to grow in ham radio, but then like in the future is like, will it be a thing? Who knows? But like, as long as we have people like you and me and K6ARK and Christian and whoever, like
maybe on your comment of there's 20 people left for Dayton Hamvention, maybe we'll just all sit in a circle and send CW in Denia.
I would hope we get like a news report saying like, esoteric group of amateur radio operators communicate only in Morse code. More at 9, like.
Ham operators relive Xenia by setting around the flagpole and just send CW the whole day.
Oh my God. Joey Searles in chat says, I'm one of those folks seeking CW. Yeah, he's one of us. One of us. software dev by trade. There's something cool about the other direction in ham radio and simplicity of CW and stuff like what we were saying, like simplicity,
Yeah.
QRP, portable operation, DXing, and contesting. It's still a huge thing in ham radio in terms of the scope of ham radio, but like, in the scope of those 700,000 people getting their license, it's probably not a huge thing, at all.
I think it's one of those things where in my journey of ham radio is you get to that point where you're yearning for something else, and you get to that plateau on, you know what, I want to learn CW. It's gotten to that time, or it's gotten to that place, and that's where I got to learn CW. And phooey on me for it taking this long. But I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad that I didn't try and learn CW whenever I was 65 years old.
Yeah. Now's always the best time to learn CW.
Right.
Especially if you're younger, because you have a plastic brain and you can actually do this. I'm 28 now, and I'm like starting to realize it, and I'm in a master's of RF engineering class, and I'm starting to realize, like, oh yeah, sure, I can learn anything in no time at all if I just put my gears to it, like if I put my head to it. But it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have to put hours. Like even in college, I had to put hours to learning like calculus and differential and all that stuff. CW is no different. Like once you get older, everything is different. Once you get older, like it's harder to learn everything, languages especially, and CW is arguably a language.
Well, yeah, it's totally a language, and yeah, the older you get, the harder it gets to learn all that stuff, and you have to put the time in, right? I mean, I can totally know whenever I did CW for 5 minutes the day before, because I pick it back up, 12 hours later or 24 hours later, I'm just like, wow, I did not put a lot of time in yesterday because I'm still hurting,
Yep.
Or I have one of those down days that I have to say, you know what, I'm going to put it down for 24 hours to come back.
All right. Well, it's about 9 o'clock, and it's time for me to sober up and go to bed. And
all right.
I had that one beer, and I'm pretty sure that Ham's was just water, and I still feel that one earlier beer, that 120-minute IPA from Dogfish.
Did you not have dinner?
Dogtown? Yeah.
You had to think about it.
I think so.
All right, I'll let you go.
All right.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
See ya, Kyle.
Bye.
Good to have you on here.
Yep.
See you. Boop. All right. You've heard it here first, folks. I don't know what you heard here first. Actually, just kidding. My OBS is all messed up. All right. I'm done here. Like, as you can see over yonder, it's 9 o'clock and I'm out of water, actually. Happy beer day. Happy Hoshnassi day. And hope you enjoyed this almost 2-hour stream, 1.5 hour stream of talking about Morse code, basically. Not really learning anything, but just kind of talking. So, yeah. Catch you later. 73. And have a good one. Stay healthy. Stay coronavirus free. And hope to see you in the next one. Probably tomorrow or Thursday. I don't know. At which point I will actually do some CW training. Hopefully. I do my CW Academy on Monday and Friday, so I won't be streaming on those days just to protect the privacy. I haven't asked them to like stream it. Like it's kind of like not very entertaining or anything. But I will bring you information maybe I'll try to stream every Tuesday and Thursday from this point on. All right. Anyway, 73. Thanks for watching from N0SSC.